The EMEA waives regulatory fees as an additional incentive to attract more business for their allegedly biodefense concerns. Dr. Robertson, the holder of intellectual property rights to the genetic technology used to produce the H5N1 and H1N1 mock-up files used to develop Novavax's vaccine, waived his ownership of this technology during the company's research phase only, with a guaranteed payoff when the vaccine is commercialized. Robertson's material trade agreement covering the transfer of these biosimilars to Novavax is expected to return millions of dollars when the vaccine is commercialized and sold to world governments. Novavax's commercialization and promotions of their vaccine is largely based on media hype, fanning fears in markets for their avian flu, Spanish flu, and swine flu concoctions. Never before this outbreak has such a virus, combining the world's most feared flu strains, ever been identified.
So you got to listen to a doctor. That's kind of interesting, huh? It's good that I throw doctors on the show. But what's important is, did you listen to what he said? How, just like in CSI and forensic, medicine, we can look at stuff. You can trace it back to its elements and find out, well, hey, how did stuff from this side of the globe get together with stuff from that side of the globe, get together with stuff from another side of the globe, and all combine? Which has never happened before, but how did it happen this time? And now the question always is, with the real story, follow the money. Who's going to make money from this? Would you viewers be surprised to find out that Donald Rumsfeld's already making money from this? Donald Rumsfeld. Where have I heard his name before? Isn't he the guy that used to be the Secretary of Defense, and he'd hire companies like Halliburton and Dynacorp, those that were caught in child kidnapping? That's right, parents, child kidnapping. And when he was confronted by Cynthia McKinney, you didn't hear about it, did you? So anyway, you didn't hear what Dr. Lynn Horowitz said on the news, did you? But it was a crisis. We have to close schools. No shaking hands at Harvard or MIT or Northeastern when they graduate. Once again, we close schools all over. People wearing masks. The joke, those masks wouldn't stop a thing. But they showed them to you because it imprinted what? It imprinted an image in your mind. And with that image, they also imprinted an emotion. And the interesting thing was, this is how they get their police state. They had police, FEMA and stuff, practicing and training and saying that they were going to practice and train, having the military and the police and the state police guard vaccine trucks and stuff. And once again, your news is telling you pandemic, 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 Spanish flu, pandemic. Would it surprise you to find out that the Spanish flu started at American Army bases? Could that have been from a vaccine program? That's right, back in 1918. And if you think I'm lying, then go read the archives of the Boston Globe, because it's their stories, not mine. Rather interesting stuff, though. So anyway, different things for this week. We'll go with some news. First off, I mentioned Donald Rumsfeld, didn't I? Well, it just so happens he's made a killing on the bird flu thing, didn't he? Hey, the U.S. Secretary of Defense, former anyway, made about $5 million, about 2.9 million pounds as it is, okay? And the interesting thing was, more than 60 countries have ordered what product? Tamiflu. Yeah, kind of interesting, huh? Because he's let's see, who's the biotech company? Is Gilead Sciences. Okay, Mr. Rumsfeld was on the board of Gilead from '88 to 2001. Hey, 9/11. Hey, yeah, the war in Iraq and stuff based on lies. Donald Rumsfeld, and now he's making money off a phony pandemic. How does he keep doing that to you? And you thought you were getting change with Obama, huh? Obama was selling you the fear. One of the greatest pitchmen, this guy, Obama. I remember him selling you the fear during that, at the end of his 100 days. Whoa, what we've done. How do you feel? What's going on? After you get the scripted questions from the specific, reporters. Oh, Charlie, you got question number 4, which of course you already read first. Do you buy this stuff? So anyway, interesting one, and this came out on the 29th, and that is the mass pandemic takeover. Well, here in Massachusetts, our Senate went and passed and approved a pandemic flu prep bill. And why it was interesting is it's unanimously approved. Now, once again, this happened during the week of what? Of every night, every news, everything, flu, pandemic, world. The World Health Organization says we're at a level 2, a level 4. Doesn't that remind you of the terrorist alert things? Orange, green, red, blue, yellow. It was like Rainbow Bright was running the country. So anyway, here we have our senator in Massachusetts, Richard Moore, chair of the Health Care Financing Committee says the swine flu outbreak provides added impetus to pass this measure. Well, are you ready for the interesting parts of this new Massachusetts, what the Senate passed? Well, go with number 1. This is important for you to figure out, okay? To require the owner or occupier of premises to permit entry into an investigation of premises. And you say to yourself, boy, isn't that against the Constitution? I mean, don't you have to have reasonable cause? Let's say they do. But you got to ask yourself, why do they got to get in? Because you've got pigs in your dwelling? I mean, it's the swine flu. Remember they lied to you? Okay. Yeah, they got to get in your dwelling. Well, if you say, well, I'm sick, you want to come back later? Let's say you are sick. Or how about this? I'm sick, don't come in here, you'll get sick, please stay away. But no, they got to get in your house. Now, it gets better. Number 2, to close, direct, and compel. How do you compel the evacuation? It says, of or to decontaminate or cause to be decontaminated any building or facility and allow the reopening of the building or facility when the danger is ended. Who says there's a danger? Who says when the danger is ended? Now, they've booted you out of your house. They compelled you. They usually do that with guns, just in case you were wondering, okay? All right, number 3, to decontaminate or cause to be decontaminated, comma, or to destroy any material. Was that your Mercedes-Benz? Was that your child's toy? You with me? Look at the power that they've grasped during this bull flu, when the bull flew in your ears and through your eyes, when they bull crapped you. Okay, they're pure BS. So once again, now they can destroy anything they want legally. To restrict or prohibit assemblies of persons. Now, am I wrong? Did you read the Constitution? Did you read the Bill of Rights? What was that first article? The right of the people to assemble? Now, kind of interesting, huh? This is what Massachusetts did because of this BS pandemic. Okay? Okay. Why that's important? Think about what happened. We go back to, last week when all the bull was flying. We were told it was swine flu flying when pigs can fly, because avian flu and swine. But when the bull was flying, they passed all these draconian laws. And that's not even half of what they've done and what they've put in place. And what's interesting was, you found out that Rumsfeld and his buddies, they made money off this. You don't even know if they started it. I don't know, but I'll tell you what. It smells kind of funky around here. Okay? Smells fishy to me. The interesting thing for you to consider is this what they've done in the past? Is this a repeat performance, the same thing that's been going on? So anyway, a little bit of news. I got this one from the Department of Army. Here's a little memo for you. We'll whip it up so you can see it on the screen. But it basically says, memorandum for record, okay? Privately owned weapons. Now people in the Army have to tell the Army if they have guns. Do you believe this? So what, they're going to make the Army people register their guns? Why? Because maybe they don't want their house destroyed, their stuff taken, their wives and family booted out of their dwelling. It's amazing, the stuff that happens when we think, once again, wasn't it a crisis, the bailout crisis? They sold us that fear. That's terrorism, isn't it? To make the people, to change politics based on fear. Okay, isn't that the definition of terrorism? So Obama sold you all that we got to bail these people out, bail the banks out. I mean, let's go Lehman Brothers and all this. But what happened last week during the the swine flu, whatever flu, the pandemic hype? Didn't Chrysler go out of business? Go bankrupt anyway, okay? Yeah, that kind of didn't make the news that much, did it? Because everything was, you were supposed to worry. Can I send my kids to school today? Okay, so anyway, I got another one for you. This one I thought was interesting. These little news clips to go with your flu BS. And that is, this is from the Canadian Free Press. Americans are terrorists if they own a Bible, a pocket constitution, or guns. Or still believe in life, liberty, and freedom. Why I think that's important? You probably don't remember the MIAC report and stuff. But that's where they said homeschoolers are terrorists. And they've actually done drills where the police have dressed up and said, we're homeschoolers, we're going to kill you. And they march people off into the woods to freak them out, just for training purposes, okay? But, yeah, gun owners, that's always a good one. As we just saw, they're going to want vets, returning war vets, and they can't have a gun and stuff, okay? Libertarians, Constitutional Party members, I guess you forget, if you voted for Ron Paul or whatever, you're now a terrorist, okay? Returning vets, tax protesters, oh, that's right. They've just spent $12 to $14 trillion, authorized the spending thereof, of money that didn't exist in what? In 5 months. That's the change, huh?